Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marthy. Welcome to our subscribers and also for those who are new here. We shoot baking content every week. And for this video, we are having our classic black forest that I actually made yesterday. And what it is actually chocolate sponge that I have soaked in Bailey's Irish cream, stuffed with strawberries in there to make it nice and fruity and yummy, and then did my cream with double cream together with my chocolate shavings and all this nice decoration on top. So make sure to watch till the end so that you can get all the steps. The recipe will be down below, all the ingredients and everything you need to make this recipe a success. So make sure to tag us when you make it, hashtag #TheBakedBerryKE, and also leave a comment when you try it. Tell us how it goes. Let's see your creations. And also follow us on Instagram at @TheBakedBerryKE. So let's get started. So first you want to make sure you measure out all your ingredients, set them up nicely so you don't forget anything. And make sure they're all at room temperature. And here we have all-purpose flour, 250 grams. We also have the eggs. It looks like a lot of eggs, but just trust me. This is what gives the cake its rise. So we have 8 eggs. We have some vanilla essence. We also have something to sieve the flour with, of course. We have caster sugar, and it's a little bit finer than normal sugar. And the star of the show, cocoa powder, dark cocoa powder. And we also have 2 bowls so that I can be able to separate the eggs, a spatula. And I have 2 baking tins. One is taller than the other, so I can do 3 layers, 2 in the big one and 1 in the shorter one. So the first thing that we are going to be doing is combining the dry ingredients. So we're putting the cocoa powder into the flour and sieve that together. So we're going to set that aside so that we can begin with the eggs. So I have the bowl. I also have one to put the yolks. We're going to separating the yolks from the whites so we can have a base of the whites and the sugar whisk together. So you can separate the eggs however you'd want. Some people prefer to use their hands. I honestly just prefer to use the shells because I don't want to get so much egg on my hands. So you just like playing around with it a little. So making sure that you're separating it, and it will be easier by the time you finish all 8 eggs. So we have our egg yolks. We're going to set that aside. We're going to be adding them later on. And our sugar will be next after we have our egg whites whisked up. So we're going to whip it up. Once it has started to form some soft peaks, you start adding the sugar slowly by slowly. So at this point, it starts to resemble like clouds and it forms some nice stiff peaks. Even when you pick it up with your mixer, it's nice and stiff, and it's also very shiny and the sugar has dissolved. So at this point, we start to add the egg yolks one at a time and combining well after each addition. And lastly, the vanilla. So you'll know it's combined once it becomes like silky smooth ribbons, and it also becomes a little looser because you've added the yolks, but it should be nice and smooth, not entirely stiff. But once you started adding the yolks, it doesn't take long for the nice mixture to form. And it's very light and airy, and that is what will give our sponge the lift that we desire. Note, this recipe does not have any baking powder or leavening agent. So we're going to be adding our mixture, and you want to divide it into two. Not you're folding, not mixing. You're folding with your spatula over, just the same way. So you go over and then all the way to the round of the bowl. Go in the middle to make sure that all is mixed well. And at this stage, please take your time so you don't deflate that nice and airy mixture that we had created earlier on. So it doesn't take a lot of time. And once it has been combined, it is ready to bake. So again, I have my 2 baking tins. I have the taller one, which I'll be putting more butter, so I can cut it into 2 layers later on when I'm decorating. And we're going to be baking this for about 35 minutes or until it's springy to the touch. So don't overbake it because it will be really, really dry. So we're going to bake this, and once they are cooled, we will get to decorating. So to decorate, I have my ingredients once again. I have my bay leaves, that is about 1.5 cups. I have strawberries that I put some sugar and lemon juice. I have chocolate shavings, that's what makes the forest part. I have strawberries and some leftover whipped cream that had caramel in it. So I'm just going to throw it in. Then I also have my cake sponges. I have my tools, cake knife, spatula, and a palette knife. And I also have my mixer, which I'm going to be using to mix or whip my chilled whipped cream. And this is dairy based, so it just has a better flavor, but you can always use non-dairy whipped cream. So the bowl is cold. I've just taken it out of the fridge, and I am mixing it until it forms a nice soft mix. You don't want to overdo it because it will separate and curdle. So once that's done, then I can cut my layers into 2, set aside, and then I get my cake board. So first layer, you want to pour the Bailey's cream on top of the cake layers. You can use a squeezing bottle or whatever you find easier. I honestly did so many spoons, I even forgot how many I was doing for each layer. So I ended up using a whole lot of Bailey's. So then you want to put a layer of whipped cream, followed by our yummy and juicy strawberry slices. Repeat the same process till you finish all the 3 layers. So you can now check if they're level at this point. Push them a little bit if need be. I'd actually forgotten to put the cream on the last layer, so do better. Don't be like me. So once you've done all that, you can also clean up as you go, because you might find there are so many crumbs and liquids, but it is worth it. So always start decorating from the top so that I can have those crumbs be done. And for this one, it's very forgiving because you're still going to put chocolate shavings on top. So you don't have to make it super smooth. So once you're done, and however if you put more cream, it's still okay. So then next what we're going to be doing is putting on the chocolate shavings. You can do this for the whole entire cake, but I'm only going to be doing for the bottom part because I don't want so many shavings on the cake. And by the way, when you try to correct like the angles and everything, it only seems to get worse. So once you're happy with it, just stop using the spatula or the palette knife. And how I'm applying these shavings is just literally just throwing them on the cake lightly, because I don't want to get the cream on my hands. It's still very soft. Remember, this is a dairy based with cream, so it's usually super soft and it doesn't dry out. So once you've done that, continue cleaning up and don't waste those chocolate shavings. We're still going to be using them. So what I'm doing now is taking a piping bag with a tip, and I'm putting all my leftover whipped cream into this bag, and I'm going to use it to make some nice dollops on top of the cake as a finishing touches, and also to kind of support the strawberries. So if you don't have a piping bag, I bought this from the cake supply shop, but if you don't have it, you can always grab the end of a Ziploc bag, just cut a triangle, and voila, you have your own piping bag. So just do rounds or dollops of it all around the cake, or even more if you want, because that's your business, more or less, however, whatever floats your boat. So I'm taking my leftover chocolate shavings, no wastage, and I'm pouring all of them at the top to give that nice contrast of the white cream and the dark chocolate shavings. So the last part is now to put strawberries. This section I'd actually forgotten my knife, but someone handed it to me. Yay! So you cut into half. If you have bigger strawberries, you can even use full. But I usually cut and let the I don't know what to call it, the inner side or the inner pattern of the strawberries on the outside, because we don't get to see that so much, and it's really, really beautiful. It makes your cake pop. That red against that white and dark chocolate is just amazing. And voila, our cake is complete. So now that you've watched the processes of how to get to this amazing cake, I've actually chilled mine for 12 hours from yesterday, and you can always chill yours for a lesser time. It's very hard to not want to eat it the previous day, but you want to soak for at least, or refrigerate, sorry, for at least 2 hours, so that the cream can also soak into the cake layers and the flavors can be more defined. So now it's time for the taste test. We want to cut into a cake and see how it looks inside. Yum. So lift, and this is what we have. So now we have our 3 very moist layers because of the Baelish cream, and we also have our strawberries in there. And something I'd also like to say, you don't have to use the strawberries for the filling. Traditionally, it has been used with cherries, but if you do not have the cherries, then we use strawberries. Just don't keep it for a very long period of time. But I doubt you will, because this will fly off the table super fast. And this is what it looks like on the inside. So make sure to try it out. Let us know how it went. Subscribe, share, comment. And I hope this has definitely been part of your day as it has been mine. And yeah, until next time, bye bye.